If you're watching this video at launch, we're live right now on Twitch with Helldivers 2. Make sure you jump on over, the links in the description and the top pinned comment. I'll see you over there. Okay, then Helldivers, loads to go through today as we move into the final 24 hours for the major order before we get moved into the next phase of the DSS construction site. This is going to be a big one and we've got loads to go through. One of which is something to do with the Helldivers Discord for those of you guys who are interested and or active in there. It's a cool little tweak, as well as some player feedback that we need to talk about. The development team have been receiving player feedback. We need to talk about what's going on there, as well as Twinbeard has a statement with regards to the Galactic map, which may bring us a little bit of help in the future and could be something that they need sooner rather than later. The DSS is actually already in the game, which is a little bit confusing, and we're going to take a look at what that means in just a second. But with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor, Instant Gaming, the platform where you can buy your video games cheaper for PC and consoles with the best deals, offers, promotions, and discounts, all running up to 70% off. They've got brand new releases on there and pre-orders as well. So do yourself a favor and go and get your games a little cheaper today. Link in the description. So let's see what's going on inside of the game over on the Galactic War map. Over on the Galactic War table, we have got a lot to look at the moment. The DSS construction site on Helldivers is still pretty safe. We have got around 1 day and 3 hours remaining on the major order, with at the moment no defense operations on hand. So the bot side is pretty damn safe, as well as the bug side, which has again no defense operations to utilize. So we have one left remaining, which is likely to jump in within the next 3 hours. For the final 24-hour push, we'll have a planet to push through. A lot of people are suspecting that Vernon Wells is going to get hit yet again with that defense operation, meaning that Tash could be at jeopardy if we don't manage to hold it, or at least that seems to be what the Reddit is talking about right now. But it's going to be an interesting 24 hours as to whether we actually complete this or not. It seems quite hopeful as it stands, as we still have Chlorel under our control, which is where the Deep Mantle Forge complex is actually being held. Should be an interesting one, but we'll see exactly where that one pans out to. Moving forward, though, we have a lot to talk about from the development team themselves. They have just recently, as of yesterday, posted up a new survey in the player feedback. This was something which has been happening a fair bit just recently, and we've had a second iteration of these player feedback polls where you guys were able to answer a survey and actually be able to put your input about the game in towards them. Most general they would normally have some Q&As come out after that point where they would collaborate a load of the questions that you guys had asked and the surveys that you guys had answered, and given us some answers to some things, although we haven't yet received any information from the last round of the player feedback, so I'm not expecting anything to come from this round of the player feedback. Although hopefully we will start seeing some more videos coming from Yoham, Nicholas, and maybe even a few more faces at Arrowhead, as everyone's been extremely quiet over the last week or so. Even Twinbeard has been pretty damn silent with regards to most things, dropping a few messages here and there, but it seems like the team at Arrowhead are pretty much keeping everything close to their chest. Not a lot is coming out at the moment. We'll take a look and see. But for those of you guys who are interested in the Discord channel for the official Helldivers, they have now got some new channels and roles, which means that you guys can now display your rank beside your name, which is actually quite a cool little feature. I quite like the idea of it, and if you guys do too, you can head on over and utilize the new roles to do so. Moving forward from this, though, Twinbeard actually made a statement just a matter of days ago, which kind of slid under the radar, and this is why I want them to utilize something more than just the Discord as a way to be able to push out their narrative and what it is that they're working on and changes that could be made, because the Discord is absolutely flooded day to day. It makes it borderline impossible to catch absolutely everything that comes on. But he put up this message right here stating, "Evening troops, for those of you guys asking me about having more details about decay, liberation, and defense rates, etc. available and or shown on the Galactic War map, we know. As we've said before, what you're seeing now is not the final state of the map. There there will be more information available, and it will be improved in increments. We're still looking for a second game master to help Joel out. Once we get that, I hope we can make quicker progress in some areas, which this look for the game master does seem to be taking quite some time, and a lot of people are making comment about that. Although when you start talking about industry standards and stuff that you want to see inside of the game, you want to make sure that we have the correct person in the job role. Being able to fill some boots that stand next to Joel is going to be quite a big feature, because Joel is pretty much one of the most iconic people at Arrowhead to the average player. So fingers crossed that does happen, and we can start seeing some changes to the map right now, because not having those things makes it a little bit of a negative for the most part. But one thing that we could have, or at least utilize quite a lot at the moment, is what somebody recommended on Reddit. This right here is the strategic voting that should be in the base game. I believe it would be greatly available to enhance the coordination of mission objectives, and I think that this could actually work out quite well. Obviously, you can't stop bug players from being bug players and bot players from being bot players, and we're slowly figuring that one out. But I do think that having a narrative of a vote system where it is that we should go would really help the coordination of the player base, as well as what Twinbeard was talking about with the decay rate, the liberation and defense rates and stuff like that. This would be absolutely amazing to add in, and I can't imagine it would be too difficult to actually implement for the most part, but I would love to see this go into the game. If you would as well, let me know via the comment section below. But something that actually blew my mind, and apparently a lot of you guys too, with nearly 7.2 thousand upvotes, states right here, how did I miss this? So one day I just randomly decided to watch one of my friends play Helldivers 2. As usual, he clears the democratic tutorial to being a Helldiver, and the screen where we choose the name of our super destroyer popped up. My brain was giving me vibes of seeing something familiar on screen, and voila, it's the DSS, the one we have been fighting for its construction. Am I the only one to notice this now? How did I miss this? Now, this is hilarious, because as you do finish the tutorial and head on up above Mars, you will actually see this in the loading screen as an overall. This is a DSS, and it has a load of super destroyers wrapped around it, which kind of solidifies the usage for what it will be used for. Although somebody put a comment on it stating, you got it all wrong, this is a resupply station. It can only orbit a planet, and DSS will be capable of moving with the use of Alcubierre drives. Now, this is absolutely hilarious. The fact that this has been in the game the entire time, I have no idea. I just completely went under my radar. I never even noticed it whatsoever. Did you guys see this? Did you notice this was here? I would extremely doubt it, but nonetheless, if any of you did, then you have an incredibly good eye. And one more topic that we need to talk about with regards to the bots before we go into your top comments is actually a pretty important one. This Reddit post right here is talking about the Scout Striders being, well, worse than tanks, which actually I never thought about beforehand, but genuinely seems to be the case. So don't worry so much about tanks coming around, although do get a little bit ratty when a Scout Strider walks around the corner. It says right here, a tank is a giant block of moving armored metal to provide heavy firepower. We rarely get one shot by it, and it's easy as hell to dodge. Sometimes we see a tank and we go meh and recoil it in 5 seconds, or plump a thermite and it's done. We see a Scout Strider, oh hell no. There's the fear in the back of our brains of us getting one shot or ragdolled 754 kilometers away despite hiding behind cover. Now, we just go into more talk about this one overall, but this is a solid problem, and I think that the Scout Striders don't probably need a nerf, but I think that there needs to be a way of being able to take them out maybe a little bit easier than what we've got. And I know that there are some weapons that can counter it quite well, but there is no reason why these things should be more intimidating than a tank, or at least in my eyes, I don't see that should be the case. Let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. But moving into your top comments before we end the video, this first one right here is pretty much my entire feeling in one message. It states, I want this space station already. I haven't been this hyped since turning a planet into a black hole. That's completely right, and actually this is really funny, because a lot of people seem to have forgotten about Meridia and what it is that that's going to bring, is that still has quite a lot with the gloom spreading over the terminid sectors, the black hole on that side. We're focusing so much on the DSS that I actually think that they should come up with some sort of turntable with all of that very soon, and it should really put a spin in the works. And next up, we have this message right here stating emblem editor, immediate flashbacks to Black Ops 1, which I very much miss. And yeah, an emblem editor would be absolutely incredible, especially if we were able to hold it on our armor sets. Now, this is looking to be involved with the DSS, so fingers crossed this is something that we actually get our hands on. And the final message right here, as we spoke about new weapons to come into the midst and a bow and arrow coming in, is this making a statement of what I said. I want a bow and arrow with exploding arrows in Helldivers. Bruh, the one-handed exploding crossbow. I completely agree. The aesthetic of what it can bring is 100% the same. It was just a concept idea, but the bow and arrow would be so much more aesthetically pleasing, and they could do so much more with it. The exploding arrows was just a mere idea, but naturally there is a lot more that they can do with that. Using an arc bow with maybe an arc attachment on the arrows, which would be absolutely incredible and give a little bit more of a pinpoint accuracy than what we've actually got with the arc thrower right now. I think that there are so many different ideas you can have with it. Give me an idea in the comment section of a different style bow that you'd want to see inside of the game, but I think it could actually work quite well. With that being said, unfortunately, that's all we got time for today. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. Appreciate your faces, and I'll see you in the clouds.